especially as it relates to cannabis.
Well, what's really wild is there's this massive history of human usage, right? It goes back thousands and thousands of years. And then in the 1930s, they decide to do this propaganda campaign against weed. And they do Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness, yeah.
And all these fucking movies that show people smoking pot and going crazy and losing their fucking minds and just lets you know, this is going to take hold of your children. So they turned this thing that everybody had always used into this new drug.
Yeah.
And they called it marijuana. And you know as well as I know, that's not that's the name for a wild Mexican tobacco.
Yeah.
They came up with a name and attached it to cannabis, which people had always used. And they turned it into this scary thing.
Yeah.
And then they told farmers, like, you could still grow it for hemp, but all this weed smoking shit, this is over, kids. We're going to, we're going to make this illegal. You're going to need a tax stamp for that hemp. And these fucking... They figured out a way to get people to believe that this thing that people had taken forever was fucking dangerous and ruining lives. And that propaganda from the 1930s, from those movies, still works today.
Yeah.
The momentum of it raised our grandparents raised our parents.
Yeah.
It's in us. It's like the dumbest shit.
It's true. Fortunately, it stopped at our parents. Like a lot of people got open after that and actually turned their parents on, because like when you go into dispensaries now, you see cats our age, right? And obviously younger people, but you see seniors up in there as well, whether they're in there for edibles or they're going to smoke flower or even concentrates, which trips me out. But
again,
the old folks like get down with that. But you see it. And fortunately, that's because there's a lot of information out there now that, like if you're not sure about that propaganda that you grew up to, you can always now do your own diligence and do your own homework and find other articles based on cannabis that will tell you positive things. And this is things they've never realized or thought of or heard before, and it opens up their world. Now, it's not enough of them, because I think if it was, if it was common knowledge amongst everybody that this is a healing plant and aside from casual use, it can benefit people, more people would embrace it. And you see that happening, but it's just slow for some reason still.
Everything's slow, man, because we were talking about before. I think people have preconceived notions that they don't want to dismiss. They don't want to let go of. Even when they're confronted with new evidence, they want to still stay, no, weed is for losers. Weed's for goddamn losers.
Or gateway.
Yeah. It's a goddamn gateway drug.
Yeah.
Listen, Mr. B-Real, you might be able to do it, but what if my son starts doing ketamine afterwards and fighting with the cops?
Kicking out back windows.
Yeah, kicking out back windows barefoot.
Like Kenny Loggins.
Footloose.
I would say one of his friends turned him on to the ketamine.
Yeah. It doesn't have anything to do with weed.
It's got nothing to do with weed.
But the idea that you couldn't go from alcohol to cocaine is so stupid. Of course you could. Is that a gateway to coke? Because I know a lot of people who drink and they do coke.
Yeah.
It's those things are, one doesn't create the other, stupid.
You know what it is? It's
a gateway drug.
People and your own choices are the gateway.
Yeah.
Not this or that.
That's what's important, right? The people you hang with.
Yeah.
You can hang with some people that will buy some street coke and put you in a coma.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, and imagine they're the ones who live.
Right.
And your friends, you were the party provider, and a couple of your friends are now gone. I mean, to deal with that.
And it's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
It's what is it, 100,000 people now a year? Somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 people die.
I mean, you think about
fentanyl,
how many
opiates,
how many folks that are just the average Joes that that are on the everyday, and then you think about the celebrities that have been taken by the shit.
So in 2021, it's 70,601 people died from a fentanyl overdose in the U.S. Holy shit. That figure is up 25% from 2020.
Did you see that news story last week where they seized a shipment that had enough fentanyl to kill every American in the United States. That was the story.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was crazy.
Deaths involving synthetic opioids other than methadone, primarily fentanyl, continued to rise with 56,516 overdose deaths reported in 2020. So it just keeps going up.
Yeah, man.
So it's nearly double the amount of fentanyl overdoses in 2019 in 2020.
That should scare the shit out of cokeheads, but you know, some of them are not fazed by this.
Fucking wild. That's wild. So what did it say, between 2019 and 2021, it doubled the amount of deaths? Is that what it said?
No, up 25%.
Up 25. But what was the one that it said afterwards? Is it double the time before that? What was the last quote?
I don't see it double anywhere. I don't know.
Can you put it back up?
Yes, this is nearly up there. Up and is nearly double the amount of fentanyl
that's what
overdose from today. Okay, so
that's what I'm saying. So that figure is up from 25% of 2020 and nearly double the amount of fentanyl overdose deaths in 2019. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Look at the peak. Look at the spike. If you look at the graph,
It's going up.
That's crazy. Wow. Jesus Christ.
So
That's
people-
what's so sketchy about illegality.
Well,
you know,
you know,
I hate to fucking beat a dead horse.
in